Early morning. Early morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Right. Good morning, Darcel, Rachel, Mala. Guyana is in the house. Paula Spin is in the house. And Darcel is from Arima.
Arima, yeah.
Yeah, Arima is in the house. All right, that's good. All right, blessings. I hope that, what are they feeling like Monday?
Today is probably Wednesday.
Yes, the whole yes. All right. Nicholas, how are you, sir? Okay, good morning, everyone. Just let us know where you're coming in from. Okay, don't forget to share the live on your page, Facebook, Instagram. All right, invite someone. Last night we had, or sometime last night was our first session in mental toughness for success, and it was really amazing.
Really powerful.
Yeah, it was good. I think Thursday night we're going to be back on. We're going to do with some practical aspect of how to deal with those, how to build your subconscious mind to deal with those blocks. Really powerful. Those of you who missed last night, just message me. Probably you could jump on the tail end. All right, so you could come in on Tuesday if you really want to be part of it. But it was really good. All right. Hey, okay, Guyana, wonderful. Kuva. All right. Hey, Marilyn is in the house. Kuva is in the house. All right. Just let us know where you're coming in from. I want you to tag someone and let them know that the morning breakfast brew is on. Ian and Keeshon, we are here. All right. As you know what we do, basically, I'm going to just share some snippets from the book. All right. 4 Levels of Human Existence. 4 Levels of Human Existence. All right. This is my new book that was just released a couple of weeks ago. And we are planning our event for this book. It's a book launch, but it's going to be a big event in the San Fernando area. So you're going to hear more about that as time goes on. So what we want to do basically is just share some stuff from the book. All right, but before we go into that, Keeshon, just let them know about last night now. What you got from it?
I mean, same highlight that I shared right after, right?
Yeah.
You receive what you perceive. that was huge for me.
Yeah.
Right, and if people can really internalize what that statement means. I mean, I know you might go into it a bit, but you receive what you perceive. That was my highlight there.
Yes,
that was huge.
Yeah, that was one of the points we touch on perception, because your perception is formed based on your beliefs and value, which is stored in your conscious mind. All right, and I know many times people hear about the conscious and the subconscious, but last night we spoke on the conscious mind, and it was really something to take away, because that is where your beliefs and your values are stored in your conscious mind, and it's critical. So your perception, how you perceive things, how you view things, comes from that place.
Correct.
And your perception alters your reception. Okay,
huge.
it alters your reception. So what you receive is based on what you perceive.
Correct.
Don't forget that what you receive is based on what you perceive. So if you want to change your perception, you have to go back down now into the subconscious mind, the conscious mind, and you have to begin to change your paradigm in that area. Really powerful. So what we are doing on Thursday, I'm going to teach them a little bit on meditation in vision and a structure on how to reprogram your whole mental complex.
Right.
Okay, because remember, it's years and years of structuring that's been established in your subconscious mind, that form in terms of the values and the belief system in the conscious mind. So that is something, folks, that you really need to get into. All right. So let me know if you're available. Jump on Thursday, 7 p.m. All right, on the Zoom platform. So this morning I want to just share something from the book is chapter 8, the 3M principle of money. Yes, it's in the book. All right, it's in the book. Okay, remember I spoke about some time ago on making money, managing money, and multiplying money. Okay, so every person supposed to be a money maker, a money manager, and a money multiplier. And what's the fourth one?
Master.
A money master. You got to master money. All right. And to master money, you got to do the laws of money. You have to know how money works. And we want to talk a little bit about that this morning, in part of what we are doing. Okay. So you've got to be able to know these things in terms of how money works. So the making money. So let me just go through. All right. So poverty, what I said here in chapter 8, I said poverty is not just the absence of prosperity. It is an attack from the kingdom of darkness. Let me read it to you again. Poverty is not just the absence of prosperity. It is an attack from the kingdom of darkness. So there's a spiritual entity responsible for afflicting people with poverty. All right. There's a demon of poverty must be addressed and dealt with in the spiritual and then in the natural. So there's a spiritual aspect when it comes to prosperity, when it comes to wealth. It's something that you cannot deny. Okay, so there's both natural and spiritual. But what happens sometimes, a lot of people focus more on the spiritual dimensions of it, spiritual aspect, and not on the natural and not on the soulish aspect. Because a lot of individuals, when it comes to in Christendom and thing, don't manifest as a result of their soul is underdeveloped. So that is critical. So you find somebody, a secular person who don't know God, but yet the soul is developed, because remember, in your soul is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay, so somebody will tap into wisdom, secular wisdom, or they tap into the laws of money, the principles of money, and they don't know God, but they tap into laws. Okay, so when you begin to talk about laws and these things like that God set in place in terms of finance, you don't really have to be a Christian to be prosperous. Okay, so people, secular people, tap into these principles. They understand the laws of money, how money works, the dynamics of it, and they study it, and they focus now on the soul aspect of the individual, which is your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So the soul is developed in that place. A lot of believers, the reason why they don't manifest is because their soul is underdeveloped. That's another story. Hence the reason why we dealing with the mental toughness for success, and we getting into the mental complex of the individual, which is basically your mind, your soul, your body, and your spirit. That whole conscious mind, conscience, and the subconscious mind and the body. So there's a way when you begin to understand the structure of that, you could shift a lot of things in that place for manifestation. All right. So this aspect, I dealt with this in the book. Again, message us to get a copy. But remember, we have the event coming up that's going to be really.
What's the date again?
The 2nd of July. All right.
Yes,
2nd of July. It's going to be an awesome event. So we're not just going to a book launch, but it's going to be an event. All right. I believe from next week, we're going to be pressing 100 in terms of marketing, in terms of putting things in front of you. All right. Where the book is concerned. All right. So that's just I want to share from the book. All right. Just get it, my book, and tell them everything. All right. Get the book. All right. Let me see what we have on here. All right. Saparia. We got some Saparia. Right. Okay. Let us know where you're coming from. Rachel is in the house. It's Wednesday, Pastor. What I say?
You said it felt like Monday.
Oh, yeah. Woo, yeah, it's Wednesday, but I feel like a Monday. All right. So what I want to talk into just some basic principles of money. All right. Remember we spoke about money got to be multiplied. What is that? Retention and investment. Okay. Those are important. So when we talk about the basic principles of money, Keeshon is the money guy. All right, so you're going to hear some stuff from Keeshon this morning. So money comes to those who are able. All right. So the first one is money comes. So money comes to those who know and abide by the principles.
Correct.
So when you begin to know and to begin to learn the principles or the law of money, money comes to those who know it, those who abide by it. All right. So those are some of the laws. So that's the first one. The laws, principles, those who know it, you begin to attract it to you. The second one is the knowledge of the law of money is the key, all right, to demand wealth.
Yeah.
Let me run it again. The knowledge of the law of money is the key to demand what? Wealth. Okay, so to obtain the knowledge, find mentors, coaches, and teachers, and partner for wealth.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just a basic law, though. All right. So the aspect of it, the first part of it, I said to do knowledge of the law of money is the key, all right, to demand wealth. So if you demand wealth and you don't know the law, the keys, it's kind of, there's not a balance there. So you must be able to know the law of money is the key to demand wealth. And then the next part of it, I said, to obtain the knowledge, find mentors. Remember, we started to do something on mentors a little bit. We just taught some stuff. All right. Do you have a money mentor?
Money mentor.
So if you're going to make money, you must have a money mentor, which means the mentor that you are connected to must be a maker, a manager, a multiplier, all right, of money.
Correct.
So sort that person out. Okay. Sort them out, because that is one of the key component in terms of principles of money. A mentor, a money mentor. Then a coach. So if you don't want a mentor, because remember in the teacher we said a mentor and a coach is totally different.
Yeah.
A coach focus on a specific area of your life. A mentor is more holistic. And more long term. A coach is just for a particular a certain time. So for instance, you have a goal to lose weight, all right, and you want to look like Keeshon, trim, okay. So you have a goal. You say you give yourself what, 3 months, right? So you're bringing a coach. The coach gets you to your desired size, desired weight. When the 3 months is over, the coach leaves. But a mentor stays in for a long. It's more longevity, all right, and it's more holistic. It's in every area. So a mentor is able to touch your personal life, your spiritual life, your finance. It's there right through. Okay, so that is important. So when you're talking about principles for money, find a mentor, find a coach. Now, yes, you can have a money coach, which means that he coaching you in the area of finance. Yeah. Okay. So all this coach is doing is with your finance. All right. How to make it, how to manage it, how to multiply it, and all that stuff. Okay. And then the next thing we say, teacher. You must have people around you who can teach. That is critical. Look for teachers. Connect with them, because there are things that you will need to learn, okay, to apply. There are things that you need to learn to apply it. And then you partner with these people for wealth. Partner with them for wealth. Okay. So you want to touch on anything on that?
Funny enough that we always highlight getting a coach or a mentor.
Yeah.
Because when you look at average society, we are very well accustomed with having coaches in sports.
Yeah.
So whether it be the basketball, the football, the swimming, at the end of the day, nobody that has talent. It doesn't matter how talented the individual is. It's common experience to have a coach to get you from one point to the next point in all sports. And when you really go to a coach to learn, or not just to learn, but to get better.
Yeah.
Because most times you could have the skill set, but the coach is really what's going to carry it to the next level.
Okay.
I mean, I played professional football from a young age coming up.
Right.
And it didn't matter how good I was. When I was on the field, I did what the coach said.
Okay.
So it's very good to really conceptualize your coach or your mentor like a coach or a mentor on the football field, on the basketball field, in the swimming pool. It's very similar. Okay. So when you enter the football, like for me, when I enter the football field, it doesn't matter how good I am. it doesn't matter how much skills I have.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what ideas that I may have as well.
Okay.
The objective of the player is to listen to the coach.
Mm.
And that plays a major part in your success.
Right.
Yeah.
Find a coach that you will listen to.
Correct.
You know, while you was saying that, I remember I was doing something on. There's a scripture that says, "His thoughts is higher than our thoughts. His ways are our ways."
Yeah.
And to the end, I'm saying that God is smarter than us.
Correct.
So while you were saying that, I was saying, you know, your coach. The coach that you're connected to, you have to understand that he's smarter than you in a particular area.
Correct.
Okay, so you got to listen to him, because sometimes people connect to coaches or connect to mentors and they think that they're smarter than the mentor.
Of course. I mean, I myself on the football field, many times my coach would have told me X, Y, or Z. And I battling with that on the field. But the funny thing is the coach could actually see when you make a decision and pose what he shared.
Yeah.
And he would normally take me off the field. Because I'm not listening to what he's saying.
You feel not too much. Sit on the bench. And you know, strangely is this thing, Keeshon. You know, like you have people who dig in the trench and people outside looking in.
Yeah.
The people who looking in at the diggers, they could see if the trench is going bend,
direction.
Right? But if you in the process of digging in the trench, you might be able to see it. And I, as you said, also a coach is something like that standing on the sideline.
Correct.
Right? Because if you're on the field you're playing, you can't see.
You can see.
Over
exactly.
you don't have a panoramic view of everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You probably just have to basically where you could see. But a coach who stands at the sideline of your life,
correct,
has a panoramic view, has more experience, and he's going to be smarter than you in that particular area. So when he gives you an advice, you must be able to listen to your coach.
Of course.
Listen to your coach. Your coach is smarter than you.
Correct.
All right. So find a coach
that you can listen to. That
is smarter than you.
Yeah.
All right. So find a mentor, find a teacher, and begin to partner with them if you're on a well journey.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes this is critical because sometimes we listen to people who are not, and this is not a kind of, I don't want to say it's from a bad place, but we take advice from people, from broke people.
Of course. I could give you a perfect example of that. I mean, growing up playing football in the middle of a match, you have everybody watching the game on the sides, you know. And let me tell you this, on the football field, every single person who's watching is also telling you what to do and what not to do, how to play and how not to play.
Wow.
But as a focused player, you have to know whose voice to actually listen to.
That's it.
Because there's going to be a lot of people at the side looking on at what you're doing.
Right.
And most of these people, because they're looking on, they're going to be giving you advice.
Right.
And I can tell you, in playing a match, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, as we would say, telling you, do this, do that, do this, do that. So when you're on the field playing, you have to know who not to listen to because a lot of voices is going to be coming, sharing their personal opinions with you about how you play the game.
You listen to that. So now, what you study also is. You have a relationship with your coach, a mentor, so you know their voice.
Exactly.
So the voice is precise. So in the middle of the game, in the middle of everybody in the bleachers, everybody shouting, that your coach voice or your mentor voice is distinguished.
That's the one you need to listen to.
Because you know him.
Correct.
So it's come like now everybody giving you advice on everything. You hear everybody saying what to do. But the voice of your coach, the voice of your mentor is distinguished. Exactly. So you know their voice. Come back to the Bible. Know the voice of the shepherd, know the voice, the sheep know the voice of the shepherd. All right. So that relationship that you're building with your coach or your mentor is critical. Correct. Because when you're under this journey for success, I'm telling you, folks, everybody wants to give you advice.
Exactly.
All right. And sometimes
everybody wants to tell the player what to do. Those who don't play the game.
Who don't play.
Always have the best advice.
This is amazing. And you remember in the bleachers, they have people who are spectators. People who are entertainers,
correct.
People who are just cheerleaders, just come and have fun. They don't even play football.
Critics.
For me, I don't play football. But I go and watch a match and I will shout, and you will never tell.
Even not people on the opponent side telling you what to do to ensure that the next side wins.
And folks, the reason why we bring in these examples to you because on your journey to success, on your journey to personal growth, All right. And there are a lot of voices that will speak to you.
Correct.
A lot of voices.
Correct.
There are a lot of individuals who are stuck and get distracted or make a detour because they listen to the wrong voice.
Especially when it comes to do with money as well, because remember we learn about money home. So everybody's gonna be bringing their personal ideologies and philosophies based on their own culture and experience from home.
Right.
And as Robert Kiyosaki said, he said most people stay where they came from. In other words, the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor simply because we learn about money home. So what advice can you give somebody other than what you know?
Yeah.
And what can you create other than what you know? Whatever you're creating is a result of where you came from. So for you to actually listen to somebody to carry you to the next level, you have to listen to somebody, as Pastor rightfully said, somebody who makes money, multiplies money, manages money, and masters money, because they will have insight as to how to successfully do that. Their advice is going to be totally opposite from what you know.
Totally, folks. And you know what touched me there, what stirred me there just now? The same Kawasaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Because remember, he had the opportunity to learn from his father.
Correct.
And his father was a teacher.
Not just a teacher, his father was the Minister of Education. He was responsible for setting the syllabus of Hawaii. Wow. He was a PhD graduate. He was the person in charge of literally fashioning the curriculum of the entire nation. Wow. But he died a broke man. That's huge.
So he had to make a decision.
Who to listen to?
Should I listen to my father?
Correct.
Who I have a relationship with? He's my father. He's a credible person in my life.
Credible person.
All right.
Minister of Education.
Minister of Education. So he had the degree. So he had more degree than a thermometer.
Yeah. Correct.
All right. And then he had the opportunity now to listen to
his best friend's father.
His best friend father, who was somebody who was wealthy.
And here's the thing: it's not that he was wealthy. You know, when Kiyosaki was listening to his best friend's father, he wasn't wealthy as yet.
Oh, okay.
Because he came from poverty. He was on his way to be wealthy.
Okay.
But his real father told him that if you want to learn about money, his banker told him that Mike's father was on his way to be a very wealthy man based on what he was doing.
Yes, I remember that.
So, Kiyosaki was able to identify his best friend's father doing things differently from the average man. Even his banker was able to validate that this individual is doing something different because his track record, his bank records, is showing something different than the common man.
So his bank record was showing that he's heading somewhere.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Remember, you had said that your bank account don't lie.
Yeah. Men lie, women lie, figures don't.
You want to hear the truth? Pull up your account there.
Yeah, pull up your account.
And brace yourself to hear the truth. Nothing but the truth. So help you, God. All right. All right, folks. So we chatted this morning about the basic principles of money. All right. So the third one was the first thing to do is with money is to save. Yeah. Now, we talk about the bank, we talk about all that stuff, right? And somebody said, well, how you could say save money now?
Yeah.
But remember, you need to have some sort of capital.
Correct.
All right. And remember, I mentioned too on one of the sessions that we had, sometimes it don't really, you may start at KFC, working at KFC, you may start sweeping in a grocery. That's okay. Right? Because remember, you are learning the principles and skills and money skills at that level, because where you are at this level is preparing you for the next level.
Exactly.
Okay. And sometimes you don't go to the next level until you are ready for the next level. Yeah. Because one level is always preparing you for the next level. So where you start is not your final destination, but where you start is preparing you for the next destination. So don't despise where you are. Ask yourself certain questions, what it is you are doing. So the money that comes in at that level, it may not be even what you want. Yeah. All right. But then how you manage that? Okay. Are you paying yourself? Are you paying God? Are you putting something to invest? So this is why we made a point here in that the first thing to do with money is to save money. All right. Because you need, when opportunities come for invest, when the money is going to double, to multiply. All right. So that's one of the aspects. I said, what you want to touch on that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And of course, when you're saving, if you're saving paper dollar,
Mhm.
understand that you're saving for a purpose. You need to set a specific amount of money or paper dollars that you want to arrive at so that you can actually do something with it. Example,
Mhm.
let's say you're working and you want to get to a certain level of wealth creation.
Right.
You set a target, you set a goal. I need to get to 10,000 TT dollars or 10,000 US dollars or 10,000 whatever dollars. And once you get to that goal, you need to have a set purpose in that goal. It could be to invest into X, Y, or Z, whatever that field is. And before you decide to invest into X, Y, and Z, you need to sit with somebody who has mastered the field of X, Y, and Z so that you can have a specific plan for the amount of paper dollars that you're accumulating, so that when you receive it and you place it into it, then you put it to multiply. And then you go again, and you go again, and you go again.
It's a process. It's
Correct.
a process. Folks, listen, when we do these classes, don't just stand on the sideline, because the knowledge is important. The knowledge is important. Set a goal, all right? How much you want.
Correct.
The date, put a date to it.
Must have a
Then
date.
what you're going to do with it when you reach that date. Connect with people, the right mentor, the right coach, the right teachers in the area of finance.
Exactly.
All right, in the area of finance to invest, because there are a lot of investment opportunities, but you need the wisdom. Okay, so this is why we said the first thing to do is to save, because when opportunity presents itself, opportunities for investment present itself, you must be able to have something.
Correct. And let me just share something really powerful that stood out to me in my understanding of the concepts behind saving, because two people could do the exact same thing and do it for different reasons.
Right, go ahead.
Now, we normally hear save, and there's a statement that comes after that the common man could think about. Save for A, and we could finish our statement, right? That's a statement that has perpetuated, I would say, the average society. We are taught to save for a rainy day.
Rainy day.
Yeah. And may I tell you, that is all most of us do, because whatever objective that you set, you accomplish.
Right.
And if your mindset is to save for a rainy day, you will only be able to save for that rainy day. Example, COVID-19 came and decimated many people financially. And people who were saving 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, they would have utilized or used the entire savings in the last 2-year experience during COVID, because they would have saved up to a certain amount of money without an objective other than for a rainy day.
So that was the rainy day.
Correct.
Wow.
The rich does something different though.
Yeah, tell us.
Let me tell you what happened in COVID-19 for the rich. They saved for the purpose of investment. So the rainy day represents sowing for the rich. The rainy day represents consuming for the poor.
Wow.
I'll give you a statement that was shared to me. It was fashioned by one of the wealthiest men that ever lived at a point in time, John D. Rockefeller. He said, when there's blood on the streets, it's the best time to buy.
Wow.
But poor people aren't taught to think like that.
No.
So everything that is stored up and secured up, when times were good, when times get rainy, they use it to consume.
Wow.
What wealthy people do is when times get bad, they understand it's now time to buy assets.
Wow.
So they do something very different when times are challenging. But it starts with the objective. It starts with being specific as to the agenda for the saving. They both would store and secure money,
Yeah, okay, right.
But the poor man stores and secure for a rainy day, which is a consumer's mindset. So
the both groups are getting what they're doing it for, the setting for.
Exactly. They're accomplishing their goal, their objective.
So if I say for a rainy day, then rain is going to come.
Rain is going to come.
Wow.
What you do when the rain is here is going to be determined by your philosophy, your culture. It's determined by the ideologies and the people that taught you about money. So now when I started to reprogram myself and challenges started to come, when rainy days started to fall, I start to look for opportunity.
Wow.
The average man don't.
No.
The average man starts to go into preservation mode.
Ooh.
He starts to go in conservation
Panic
mode.
mode.
He starts to get anxious about what's taking place.
Yeah.
He starts to try to minge.
Wow. So the opportunity that is presented during that time, a crisis, during that
Correct.
time, most of the time, the poor individual, the poor person, not gonna step into it.
They're not gonna be able to, as you say, seize the opportunity in the lifetime of the opportunity,
Right.
because they have wired programs, predetermined programs that tells them what to do when the rainy day is there.
Wow.
The rainy day is to invest. The rainy day is to buy. You know why? Because everything is on sale.
Wow. You know what I want to touch on. That's listen to me, Keeshon. You see that is
Everything is
that
on
so
sale
powerful.
and on the rainy day.
That is so powerful.
It doesn't matter if it's shoes, it's clothing, it's food.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. Everything goes on sale in the rainy days. So this is why you see the wealthy buying up all the real estate. They're buying up everything. They're waiting for the world's globe to go in a rainy day so that they can take all the wealth that they preserve and buy it. And guess who's normally sell in rainy days? The poor.
Oh yeah, because they want
money. More money to consume.
Yeah. but Keeshon, you're saying that, and I'm again based on what we were talking about last night. All right, that mindset, that program, that is not going to change like that, unless you begin to rewire the complex of your mind.
Correct.
That is need to be rewired. Because remember, you make a decision based on beliefs and values.
Yes.
That is already established in your subconscious mind.
And remember, a rainy day represents doom and gloom.
Yeah.
So you have to understand how emotional the average man gets in a rainy day.
Yes.
Most times he's frightened. He's anxious. He thinks he's not prepared. Just the emotional state itself would not allow you to even see opportunity.
Last time we talked about how that emotion, you can't even see the key.
You can't see it.
Because it sends message to your subconscious mind. So all that access you have for knowledge to do something that good thing you're supposed to do, you can't see it. Because it shuts it down.
Correct. You're emotional about what's taking place.
Psychology
you can't be logical. And this is why most people can't seize opportunity, as you say, because they can't see it, because they are clouded by the emotions of the rainy day.
Folks.
A rainy day is to invest.
So they can become blind to the opportunity right in front of them. They can't see it.
Exactly.
Wow. Hey, jump on board. All right. Thursday we on 7 p.m. All right. We're doing the last part of mental toughness for success. You could still jump in, message me, and we could put something together for you. All right. So that's the number 3 on the basic principles of money we're talking about. The 4th one is income does not determine wealth, knowledge does.
Correct.
Income does not determine wealth. Income, which means money coming in.
Exactly.
Because you could have 100,000 coming in every month. Yeah. But if you don't have the knowledge to manage that, right? And to me, out of the M's that we speak about, the managing aspect is critical.
Yeah, for sure, it's huge.
Right? Because there are people who could make it but cannot manage it.
Can't manage it,
Okay?
can't multiply.
There are people who can manage it but can't make it.
Correct.
All right? So I tell couples, when couples come and think, I say, listen to me, in terms of finance, I said, you have to identify between both of you who's the maker, who's the manager. Because most of the time, somebody is not the manager.
Okay.
Somebody's a consumer.
Understood.
Right? Really, sometimes you find a couple come before you, male and female, and they are managers.
They both.
Okay. Right? Somebody, you'll find 2 of them are makers, but somebody not managing it. You'll find also other consumers.
Yeah.
So identify who is the consumer, who is the manager, who is the maker. And then now you'll be able to create a structure. Yeah. Because let the manager manage.
Correct.
Let the maker make.
Yeah.
And sometimes the one who can't manage, that's the one sometimes want to be consuming a lot.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So that is something that is critical. So the first thing, all right, income does not determine wealth. So not because you come in, because wealth is different from money.
Yeah.
We talk about that in the book. All right. Okay. Wealth is different from money. because you can have plenty of money but not wealthy.
Correct.
Because with wealth now you live in succession for the third and fourth generation. Okay, because money will paper money, with inflation will come on that, and that will just scatter for you.
Correct.
In a one.
I heard Kiyosaki said that to be rich, you should be able to calculate how much days you can live forward with any new income coming in. And the amount of days you can live forward without having to worry about any new income tells you how rich you are.
Right.
He says, but if you want to know how wealthy you are, you then calculate how much generations could move forward without they having new income coming in. And there are families that have real generational wealth, where their fifth, their sixth, their seventh, their 10th generation don't need to worry about anything right now.
My God.
Yeah.
Focus on wealth. I'm telling you, get the book, 4 Levels of Human Existence. All right. Are you rich or are you wealthy?
Yeah.
Are you rich or are you wealthy? Okay. And you know the Bible talk about that. You know, somebody don't stop saying the book.
The good book.
Yeah, the good book. The Bible. So somebody put up, and you know, I'm just a Sunday school teacher, so I have to listen to the person. All right. So the Bible says, all right, a good man leaves, all right, inheritance to the third and fourth generation. Remember we spoke about that already, right? That is generation wealth. I mentioned it in the book. So 4 depths of generation
of wealth.
Okay. So 4 depths. So your focus is before you leave the earth, you have to make sure that you dig enough wealth so that your children could stand on that.
Exactly.
Now, here's the problem with that. This is me. Here's the problem with that. The tension with that.
Yeah.
So you're telling people who are living third and fourth generation who are not even wealthy and not even rich.
Yeah. Yeah.
So somebody said to me, she said, Doc, you're telling me about living wealthy third and fourth generation, and I am not even rich or wealthy. And the reason for that is that the father didn't leave anything for them.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a generation, or there's a group of people who fathers were consumers.
Yeah.
All right, because they really didn't know, they didn't understand. So they moved basically more on surviving.
Yeah.
Day to day. Make sure a good shelter, we have food, and we have money in the bank and all that stuff. Okay, so there's a generation, and a culture too that lived on that. But then there's a generation even now are not settling for that. Correct. This is why the knowledge that and the stuff that we're doing now is so critical. You got to know. So you may miss that, and you may say, well, I didn't have anything to stand on. Yeah. But that's okay, right? You build something now, so you have to make sure that your children and your children have something to stand on, so you are responsible. So the person say, all right, well, there are no millionaires in my family, or there are no wealthy people. Well, you could break that cycle.
Exactly.
And be the first, because
you
should be the first, because it starts with generation.
Yeah.
So you look back in your generation, there were no wealthy people, there were no successful people, there were no business, we had no business. You could say, listen, I break in that cycle, I change in that. Exactly. So it starts with you, and say, I'm going to be the first wealthy person. I'm going to be the first billionaire. Exactly. I'm going to be the first businessman. I am going to be that. And you start breaking that cycle. Of course. So you leave a foundation for the next generation. Yeah. And you begin to think like that. But it starts with what? Your mind. Your mindset. Okay? You start with your mind. Okay? Because in your head first, not your pocket. I know you want it in your pocket first. But you have to get it in your head first. Correct. All right? And then in your hands. So that's number 3. The first thing you do is with money is to save it. Then number 4, income does not determine wealth. Knowledge does. Mm-hmm. So getting knowledge, getting the proper knowledge, not just knowledge too. We say, I remember the right knowledge. Right knowledge. The right knowledge. Okay, the right knowledge. And I always mention what you had said also concerning the long ago there was keep the knowledge from people. Yeah. But now you give them specific knowledge
to give them so they create specific results.
So create specific results.
Yeah. Okay. That's what the school system is actually.
Yeah.
And Kiyosaki speaks heavily
in that,
about it. You know, he said because most people, they work for fake money. Yeah. And the reason they work for fake money is to buy fake assets that they think is real, that is not real. He said the only reason that could exist at the extent it could is because they have fake teachers.
Wow.
3 fakes: fake teachers, fake money, fake assets.
Right. I remember you touched that Sunday in the Bitcoin for beginners. If you miss that class, if you miss it, you miss it.
And that's why many people they can't see the opportunity in the evolution of money, because most persons don't know what real money is.
Wow.
And if you don't have an understanding or foundation of what real money is, you won't be able to identify the evolution of money. I mean, it's naive to believe that money won't evolve, because when you study money historically, you would see that money has always been evolving. Always, from bartering to salt to cocoa to cattle.
Yeah, there was a transition with it coming up.
As society evolves, the money evolves with it. It's naive to think that 10 years, 15, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 50 years from now is going to happen. It has always happened from the inception of human history to now.
Right.
But are you wise enough? Are you informed enough to see the trend? Are you able to identify what money is evolving into right now? And if you're not, may I tell you, you are going to be left behind.
Wow.
You're going to be left behind.
Wow. And that's the same thing I said also on Sunday when you shared it. I said there are people who are saying this to me about, again, this Bitcoin, all that stuff. But what we need to know, they're always coming to rub somebody. I mean, how we could rub if you don't have anything? How you could rub you? All right, and that's the mindset.
Yeah, it's a mindset.
So even though you have a business, even though you're probably working for some whatever, get the knowledge, get the knowing, get the information. You need to know, because it's going on globally. There's a global shift. There's a global shift that's taking place. All right, number 5. Let's give you number 5. Minimize expenses. Folks, basic principles of money.
It's
basic. Minimize expenses. All right, when you get some money, don't take your broke self to the mall. All right, and listen to me, and I'm not saying, when I say broke, not just broken, but mentally. Okay, mentally, because there are a lot of individuals are consumers. So the minute it come in, it already finished before they come in. All right, so you want to minimize expenses. Sit and write down the things that you want.
Set objectives.
Yes, set objectives. You're going in and go straight, mark down stuff. This, I want this, do your stuff. And it's not going to be like that all the time, but remember, it's a discipline, and you're starting at that place. Right? Number 6, we said don't steal. Woo! Basic laws. Don't steal. All right? Pay your tithes if you're a Christian. All right, not even if you're a Christian, pay your tithes, your 10%. All right, and also taxes for secure future. Pay all your debts. All right, all right. No, that have a class by itself.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's have a class by itself. Okay, because I was telling someone, you somebody in debt, right? In debt. Now it's good to pay your debts, but you're in debt, okay? And sometimes you got a lump sum of money, and you want to pay off all your debt,
right? And
then you have an opportunity to invest. So let me ask you that, Keeshon.
Sure.
All right, you're in debt, okay? Which you're not in debt, okay? But let's say you're in debt.
But I'll tell you something funny when you're finished.
And you get a lump sum of money, right? And you have an option. You have an opportunity. You have an option. Should I pay off all my debts, or should I take the investment? What should you?
Well, obviously, I would always say take the investment, and I'll tell you why.
All right, go ahead.
Based on my understanding of what the paper dollar is today, the paper dollar is debt. Many people don't know that. So what makes me comfortable going in debt is understanding that the medium we use as exchange is debt. On the right-hand side of the American dollar, it says legal tenure that represents DEBT. Now, this is Kiyosaki also saying a lot of people don't understand that the paper dollar that they're working for is actually a debt. It is debt. Now, there's good debt and there's bad debt.
Right. Right. Take notes, folks.
Right? There's good debt and there's bad debt. Nothing is wrong with borrowing money.
Right.
But again, you need to possess an understanding of how things work. So Kiyosaki would normally say, listen, if you understand the entire system, the entire system is designed for you to get wealthy borrowing money. The wealthy borrow money. They borrow their way to riches. They borrow their way to wealth. And I'll give you an
Go
example.
ahead. Yeah.
I'll give you a real example. It's built into the fabric of how money works.
Yeah.
Two things we could compare. If somebody was to earn legally, let's say $100,000 US as an employee, they will have taxes to be paid.
Right.
As a businessman, they will have less taxes to be paid. So you have majority of taxes to be paid as an employee, minimum taxes to be paid as a businessman, but zero taxes to be paid if you borrow the say 100,000. So imagine you have an objective of, let's say, building a house, and you have 3 ways you could attain $100,000. So your objective is to get $100,000, build a house. Let's say you're an employee and you receive $100,000 from employment. In Trinidad, at least 25% of that goes back to the government.
Yes,
so you're only going to receive 75,000.
Right.
As a businessman, you could structure that money coming in as an expense.
Expense, right.
So that would mean you could actually do a paperwork to the point whereby you probably pay 10% or 15% or even 5% according to who is your accountant.
Right.
So out of the 100,000, you get to keep 90,000 or 95,000. But if you have cash flow and you can go to an established institution and you borrow 100,000, you keep 100% of 100,000.
Wow.
Learn how to use that because money is debt.
Money is debt.
The paper dollar is debt. So I always tell people, anywhere there's an opportunity for me to go in debt, I do it.
Right.
And the only reason I'm comfortable doing that is because I understand what the paper dollar is. And I mean, I could go really deep into that, right?
I know this. I tell you all, folks, that's the money, man.
Yeah, the Western world was built on that.
Yeah.
Right? All these multi-conglomerates around the world, they actually build, they actually acquire assets by borrowing. Let me not go too much into it.
No, but we're gonna go into all those areas, folks. All right. So again, look at some of the things we are doing. Jump on board because getting the knowledge is critical. You know, as you we're talking on the whole debt concept. You know that scripture they talk about the borrower is slave to the lender.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that is the premise a lot of believers, all right,
they shy away from
because
correct.
And they say, well, you'll be a slave to the lender. All right. But if you read that text in its entirety, it's a whole different thing. All right. Go ahead.
And not just that, right? You see, you need to possess an understanding of how things work.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example.
Go ahead.
The only reason the paper dollar was created in the first place, it was to represent the amount of solid gold or silver that the government or the kingdom held.
Right, I remember.
So paper dollar was created as a decree to represent how much value was in the vaults of the king.
Right, okay.
How much value was in the vaults of the government.
Right.
When you study money historically, and let's say American history to be exact, you'd recognize that President Nixon in 1971 or 41, can't remember the exact date, he took the dollar off the gold standard. Because once upon a time, a US dollar was exchangeable for gold.
For gold, okay.
This is where the concept as good as gold came from.
Oh, right.
So they would say the American dollar is as good as gold because it literally was exchangeable for gold. And they actually took the dollar off the gold standard. So it was no longer exchangeable for gold, and money at that time, or paper dollar at that time, stopped represented gold and it started to represent debt. Let me also give you a little insight in Americans' money history. Are you aware it was once illegal for US citizens to own gold? And if you owned gold and they found out you owned gold, it would have been confiscated from you.
Wow.
Because the country was going through a depression and they decided to confiscate all the solid gold from its citizens. So they were taking away the power from the average man on the street and then giving you back paper dollar in return. They were giving you debt notes. It's called FIAT currencies, fiat currency.
Fiat currency.
It's not money. That system has never changed. So from that date to now, society literally operates with DEBT, being loaned it to them.
Right. Okay.
So now, when you go to the bank to borrow, how could you borrow something that is already debt? So even before it came in your hands, it was debt.
Wow.
Even before you worked for it, it was debt. Even before you did a transaction for it, it was debt. So they're very well correct, you know. The lender will be the master.
Lender.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But you need to identify where along the way you borrowed.
Wow.
Because you didn't borrow when you go to the bank to borrow on the dollars you had. You borrowed the very moment you decided to receive and accept the paper dollar for your energy, for your time, your intellectual property.
Wow.
That is where you have been borrowing. You have been borrowing paper dollars. You have been willing to receive something in exchange, something that is worth nothing in exchange for something.
Wow.
And this is where Kiyosaki sums it up. He says, people that work for paper dollar will always work for people that print paper dollars.
Yeah, I remember that one.
The borrower will always be slave to the lender. It's the exact same thing. You just need to understand what the paper dollar represents today. Every time you receive it, you're borrowing because it represents debt.
Folks, straight and direct here on the morning breakfast brew. All right, listen to me. Set your clock, set your time, and join us here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All right, in these discussions in dealing with faith and finance in the area of personal growth and development. It's really, really awesome. This discussion here, I want you to come back on this, listen it again as we get into it. And this basically, we could go on here for 2 hours chatting on this thing. I'll tell you, it's a lot of stuff. Again, this is why when we are doing workshops and then get yourself and get the knowledge, get to understand certain things. All right. We last night we had that workshop on mental toughness for success. That was one part, and Thursday we're going to go to the next part in how to really develop that whole your mindset there to shift those patterns that have been formed. All right. I want us to give you one more before we go. And we're talking about these laws here. All right. So wealth comes by investment. Right? Wealth comes by investment. So having money, just having it there and not investing, you're not gonna be wealthy. What property you're buying, all that stuff. Okay? Inflation. So wealth comes by investment. Save in order to multiply the savings.
Correct.
Save in order to multiply the savings. Right? Retain by minimizing costs.
Correct.
Retain by minimizing the costs, and multiply by investing and production. Exactly. So you multiply. So you see, I give you all the stuff there with this one. Let me run it to you one more time, because I know we're chatting and things, but we also giving you some solid principles. Okay, some of the knowledge and the teaching that we hear this morning on money and the paper dollar and all that stuff, mind blowing. Get the knowledge. Okay, so I say wealth comes by investment. Okay, but you must have to invest. Okay, then save in order to multiply the savings. Multiply. All right. Then I said retain by minimizing the costs. That's one. And then multiply by investment and production. Okay. So those are just some of the principles there we're going to share. All right. Any takeaway, Keeshon, before we pop it in?
I like to receive what you perceive.
Perception. All right, your perception. That was last night, folks, on the mental toughness for success. All right, your perception alters your reception. I remember your perception is shaped based on your belief and your values, and your values and your belief is also formed based on the information that has been in your subconscious mind, which is in your conscience. Okay, and that is what needs to be reprogrammed, so that your beliefs and your values could be at the level and the place that you want it. All right. So there's a lot of stuff there, folks. So join us here. Let me hear what some of the folks are saying. All right. Candice say good stuff. Wonderful. Mala say, whoa, I am learning something new here. All right. Knowledge is power, Gil. All right. Let's say, Candice, don't be an emotional shop. Emotional. All right. Like somebody testifying there. All right. So folks, just put your text there. Those of you who are on Don't forget to share the link on your Facebook, on your Instagram, even on your WhatsApp. Message your friend, let them know what's happening. Also, make sure and subscribe and like and leave a comment. Like and leave a comment, okay, so we can create some movements on this platform that we are building here. But trust what I'm saying, big things are going on. All right. Don't forget the 4 levels of human existence on the 2nd of July. It's going to be really, really awesome. All right, so we apply that event next week. Please God, you're going to begin to see some movements. I'm going to again send out the link. You can order the book or the book, the event on the app. There's a landing page that we put together. All right, so blessings, everyone. Love you. Take care. Remember, we said stay blessed and don't ever be stressed. All right, blessings. Ooh.